You're watching Michelin Motorshow updates. This is PowerDrift. Lot of cool content coming your way. This is Mr. Aditya Patel. Let's get to it. Now, when I sent Aditya the list of cars that we were going to do, he sent this car in particular and said, dude, I want to talk about this car. And at first I was scratching my head because it doesn't make any sense. Why would a racing car driver want to talk about a hybrid, the Corolla hybrid? But then I looked at it a little bit more. And essentially, it's an estate. So this is the Toyota Corolla Sport Touring.
Sport Touring.
And then
it's the word sport that kind of got my attention.
But then it got me thinking. This guy I think is at least half European, and I gotta ask him the question: why do Europeans love estates?
I have noticed that a lot of Europeans like to head out on the weekends, take their car, go to the mountains, go to the beach. If they're going to the mountains, they're taking their skis. If they're going to the beach, they're taking their surfboard. If they're going to play golf, they're taking their golf kit. So they do need the space for that. And now it's not very easy to own so many different cars. You can't just own a sports car. You can't just own an estate. You can't just own an everyday car. It doesn't make economic sense. You'd rather have one car all rolled in one, right? Put your family, put your dog, put your golf equipment, and which is why I think Europeans like something like this. Look at that, it's massive. Okay, the seats are rolled down, but it's still a lot of space.
This is essentially the replacement of the Odyssey Estate, which was basically a hatchback. There was an estate body, but the Corolla is a sedan, so it is a lot bigger. In fact, the wheelbase on this car is 2,700 millimeters. That's just a little bit shy of the Toyota Innova. So you can imagine how much space there is on the inside.
Not an Innova.
It is not an Innova.
It is not an Innova.
Which means that it has around 600 liters of boot space. And Sport Touring is actually a name we're familiar with because Toyota a couple of months ago launched the Innova Sport Touring in India as well. And it adds a few sporty credentials, at least the one we got had blackened out rims and a few other sporty bits and pieces.
From the aesthetics and the
it was an aesthetic job. It was an aesthetic job.
Okay.
But the sport hybrid here, the Sport Touring, has a little bit more that it offers. Tell us about it.
So basically, it has one conventional drivetrain, which is a 1.2 petrol, 114 bhp. Two hybrids, 1.8 petrol, 120 bhp and a 2-litre, 178 bhp. So they're not ridiculously fast, not too much power, but just about something that will give you the thrills and the excitement.
It's that almost 200 horsepower in a sedan.
It's not 200 horsepower, but it's a big punchy car. It's 200 horsepower in an Innova. No, it just about gives you the thrills, I guess, plus it's hybrid. And as far as the exteriors go, I think it's quite an attractive looking car.
Yeah. So the reason why we decided to talk about this car in particular also is because with the exteriors, it is a Corolla, so this is the updated design that we could expect to also see on Indian shores, and I kind of like it. It's very sleek looking. I especially like the LED DRL elements here. It looks very Japanese, not very European, right?
And also it looks very much like, if you look at it, it looks like a fang from a cobra.
Exactly.
If you look at the side, right? Aggressive, and a cobra, like particularly a cobra's fang, the way it's designed.
I think, for the Corolla, this is, I would personally, especially with the way it looks and the features that it gets with the hybrid powertrains, I would prefer this, I think, over the standard sedan. What about you?
Yeah, same here. Again, I do love bigger cars and SUVs and estates, so it's a no-brainer. If I had to choose between this and the sedan, would be this.
So India, we've had sort of a love and hate relationship with estates.
Yeah.
Of course, way back in the day, there was the Tata estate, which was like an estate. Exactly. But then Skoda tried their hand at it with the Octavia. And Audi offers a couple of estate cars as well.
The RS6, yeah.
Yeah, but why do you think that estate cars haven't really clicked in India per se?
I don't know. Again, in India, it's like if you're buying a sports car, you want it to look like a sports car, right? You want to be seen. I hate to say it, but if you want a sports car, you want to be seen. But if you're buying a big car, it's very unassuming, and if it's unassuming, it doesn't do the job. So even in Germany, if you look at most of the cars, people like unassuming cars. They'd have a sports car. Like we were talking about, say something like this, the RS6, they would take the RS6 badge off and people won't know whether it's the RS6 or the A6 Avant, right? So they're just trying to keep it understated. But here you want the whole world to know what you're in. So you've got to get something that looks the part.
And this is where I think the Corolla actually has an edge, because if you look at the interiors, firstly, great job. I like the design of this new interiors, but it gets a lot of interesting touches, right? So it comes with a heads-up display, it gets a wireless smartphone charging cradle, it gets a JBL audio system, And it also has the world's first 3D digital instrument cluster. More on the performance end, firstly it gets interesting powertrains, a hybrid powertrain, almost 180 horsepower, but also gets electrically adjustable dampers as well. So you know that this is going to be quite potent in the corners, and this is a Japanese car, so you know that it's going to be really balanced as well. Expecting the Corolla Hybrid Sport Touring to make its way down to India is probably a little bit far-fetched, but I really hope I would get to drive one.
Same here, I'd love to drive one of these.
Do you think that this is a car that should make its way down to Indian shores? Why don't you let us know in the comment section below. My name is Glenn, this is obviously the very famous Mr. Aditya Patel, and we're going to come back at you with more cars, so stay tuned.